Remember, for the past year, we've been fighting to keep a piece of plastic from causing gun owners everywhere to lose 10 years of their lives and up to $250,000? Well, there's this one simple trick that will blow your mind and let you keep your guns. Instead of getting years in prison for lying on a government form, just be the president's son. Worst you'll get is a slap on the wrist. Hi, I'm Ben, and you're watching the Minuteman Moment. The Hunter Biden laptop story has finally resulted in criminal charges for the president's son. Hunter Biden made a deal with federal prosecutors, pleading guilty to 2 tax-related misdemeanors and resolved his felony gun charge. Hunter's gun charge being resolved is a fancy way of saying that the charge is subject to a pretrial diversion. For those of you not well-versed on court terms, a pretrial diversion is a plea agreement that not only allows for the criminal defendant to maintain a clean record, but avoid jail time as well, provided they complete pretrial probation requirements set by the judge. This means that Hunter Biden can still legally own a gun. The firearm charge that Hunter Biden was facing resulted from a 2018 incident in which Hunter's girlfriend tossed his revolver into a trash can next to a high school. Check off another gun law that Hunter's free to ignore. The incident corresponded with later interviews in which Hunter detailed being addicted to drugs around the same time.
I spent more time on my hands and knees picking through rugs, smoking anything that even remotely resembled crack cocaine.
This caused speculation that he broke federal firearms laws when buying the firearm, which led to an investigation and those charges being filed. For those of you unfamiliar with federal firearms law, when buying a firearm from a FFL or a firearms dealer, you were required by law to complete a Form 4473, also known as a firearms transaction record. This record is then used to file a NICS check, a background check with the FBI. On the Forms 4473, there's a question about whether the purchaser of the firearm is addicted to any drugs. Answering yes on the form automatically denies the purchase of the firearm. So for Hunter Biden to have been able to purchase his gun, he would have had to lie on this form. Now, you might be thinking, this isn't a serious crime, and that surely other people have been let off the hook as well. Well, that's where you'd be wrong. Rapper Kodak Black was charged with the same crime of falsifying information on a federal form to buy 4 firearms at a Miami gun shop in May of 2019. He was sentenced to more than 3 years in prison stemming from that charge. And Kodak Black isn't the only one being charged. In April 2023, a woman in Iowa was sentenced to a year in prison for lying about her address and drug use on the Form 4473. And just last week, a woman in Virginia was charged with making a false statement on her 4473 because she had previously used marijuana. It's important to note, Virginia legalized recreational marijuana 2 years ago. So, state legal weed? That's 2 years in prison and a loss of your Second Amendment rights. Crack? 2 years probation and Hunter can still buy a gun. You'd think that anti-gun organizations would be up in arms about this situation, where a drug user was able to purchase a firearm, lie on a federal form, and then serve no jail time. So much for background checks doing anything to stop dangerous criminals from buying guns, right? But there's been silence on this issue from every major anti-gun organization. Of course, background checks and the accompanying forms and paperwork are an unconstitutional prior restraint on an individual right. But this violation of liberty is compounded and even more dangerous when it's unevenly applied, and the politically collected elite are exempted. In addition, the Form 4473 has been weaponized by the Biden DOJ and ATF through regulatory policy to create an illegal backdoor firearms registry. Gun Owners of America has covered this at length in previous videos that we'll link in the description. We don't require background checks, tax stamps, or licenses for any other constitutional right. Can you imagine going through an FBI check to go to your church? Or getting a license to post your thoughts on social media? The Second Amendment should be no different. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.